Hey, where's my kid? The truth about parental alienation. Welcome to the first episode of Hey, Where's My Kid? A series dedicated to unpacking one of the most painful and misunderstood family dynamics, parental alienation. Hi, I'm Anna, and if you're watching this, chances are you're either living through this nightmare or you care deeply about someone who is. I see you, and I know it's devastating, it's confusing, but today we're going to take the confusion out of it. We're breaking it down, what parental alienation is, what it looks like, and how to catch the signs before they become a permanent wedge in your relationship with your child. Imagine loving your child more than anything in the world, only to feel them slipping away from you. Not because of something you did, but because someone else is slowly turning them against you. They stop answering your calls. They say things that sound rehearsed. They don't even look at you the same way anymore. Sound familiar? That might be parental alienation, and today we're pulling back the curtain on what that really means. Parental alienation is when one parent or another adult intentionally or unconsciously works to damage or sabotage the relationship between their child and the other parent. This can look like bad-mouthing the other parent, but it can also be subtle. It might be a shrug and a passive comment like, well, I guess your mom forgot again. Or, your dad probably doesn't care about your recital anyway. These seeds get planted slowly, and over time, they grow into resentment. It's not an overnight shift. It creeps in. One day, you're still reading bedtime stories. A few months later, your kid's barely making eye contact. I've seen this firsthand, working with families, hearing stories from parents who are absolutely blindsided. One day they're singing goofy songs in the car. A week later, they're being told their kid doesn't want to see them anymore. It's a silent grief. And unless you've lived through it, people don't always get it. They say, well, maybe the kid just needs space. But no, this is different. This is manipulation wearing a mask of love. Let's talk about what this actually looks like in your child, because knowing the signs can be the first step to stopping it. When a child abruptly starts avoiding one parent with no clear reason, that's a red flag. It might start with, I'm tired, or I have homework. But if it becomes a pattern, pay attention. Another sign, your child parroting overly negative things, stuff that feels off. Mom never listens to me, or dad only cares about himself. It's not just the words. It's the tone, the rehearsed, disconnected way it's said. Sometimes kids will claim they're scared of the alienated parent, even when there's no history of harm. I don't want to go, you'll yell at me. This fear is often planted, not felt. When a child seems stuck, like loving both parents is a betrayal, that's a sign they've been put right in the middle. And let me tell you, no child should feel guilty for having love for both of their parents, ever. And let me be crystal clear, this is not about protecting a child from an unsafe parent. If there is documented abuse or harm, that is not alienation. That is protection. What we're talking about here is emotional sabotage. Using a child as a weapon to punish the other parent. That's the line we're drawing. There are a lot of myths out there that muddy the waters. So, let's clear a few up. Myth number 1. Kids always know best. Not when they're being emotionally manipulated. Kids are smart, yeah, but they're also loyal. Loyalty and subtle coaching is equal to confusion. That's not a fair fight. If the kid doesn't want to see the parent, that parent must have done something wrong. Not always. Kids can be taught to fear or reject someone they love, even if that person's done nothing wrong. And that is the heartbreak of alienation. This only happens in high conflict divorces. Wrong again. Alienation can happen quietly, even when co-parenting looks civil on paper. Manipulation doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Just pause for a second. Think about what it's like to be a child in this situation, torn in half. To feel like loving one parent means betraying the other. That's what parental alienation does. It teaches guilt where joy should be. It replaces love with obligation. That is not parenting. That is control. And look, I know this stuff is heavy, but this series isn't gonna be all pain and no hope. We're gonna talk solutions and strategies. If you've noticed these signs in your child, or you're going through this yourself, drop a comment below. You're not alone. And the more we talk about it, the more we expose it for what it is. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. We've got so much more to cover, and I promise there's light ahead. This podcast is for informational purposes only. It is not legal advice or therapy. Please reach out to a professional if you need support.